Everyone is Alex from Radd, and we are here with Caleb Nefzan, and we're going to look over the Attack on Titan piece by Figurama. So keep watching, guys. All right, everyone is Alex from Radd. We're back, and as I was saying, we're here with Caleb Nefzan, the sculptor. Done a lot of great work, and we're going to go over one of his pieces right now. This is the Attack on Titan diorama. This is the Eren Titan versus Armored Titan. So we're just going to go through a few things with Caleb. So first of all, congratulations, this is a fantastic piece. Great work. I mean, with something like this, I mean, where do you even begin? Like, where do you start when you get this project?
Thank you for inviting me here. And no, I have to do a lot of research because sometimes I don't know the characters quite well or don't follow the anime. So I have to watch the anime and fell in love with the characters, and then I just start putting all my fire on it, all that I can do, yeah, you know. So with this piece in specific, like I love the concept art. I think it was very dynamic and it's very imposing. So that catch my eye, and I just started from there. Like, fortunately, we have a good team, a good art director, and a concept artist. So we are a great team, and that's the result. So I'm pretty pleased with this.
Because I mean, one of the pieces you worked on before was Devilman, which is just around the corner, and that's one of the pieces I have in my collection. It's going to stay in my collection. I absolutely love that piece. I'm a big Devilman fan. So when when I heard that you did that, I was very happy to hear. So yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that you like it. Yeah, I saw one of the videos that you showed and the review. I think of Devilman. Yeah, that piece is also one of my favorites. I have to say, I love Devilman so much. So, yeah.
So let's go into this piece here. So I mean, like, I think with this as well, I mean, like, the sculpt on this and the way the balance of the piece is done very well. A lot of the negative energy is kind of taken up by the pose, but you've done it really well. That you've got these huge characters, but you've almost made it so they're displayable. Because like, it's still a huge piece, but you know, these could be like here. And then the pose could be out here. So, yeah. So do you want to talk about how you make it so, like, I guess compact for the size?
Yeah. Well, like I told you, like I received the concept art. It was kind of like this one that you are looking at here. So I start from there, and we start blocking the shapes. I start blocking the shapes with the art director, and we start considering what's the best for the display for collectors. So that's the idea, like to make something compact, because this piece was like more spread out. Sorry. So we have to figure it out how to make it compact, but at the same time impressive and impactful. So I think we did a great job. I think the whole team, yeah, for sure.
I mean, one of the things we actually spoke about the other day was this piece came in like, this is the prototype, and when delivered, this was literally, I don't know, 100 pieces. And they're all small. I don't know if they've been glued now, but they're all like little pieces like this, about like 100 of them. I actually asked you about when you design the piece, do you actually do the keying inside? Like, do you decide what comes out, what goes in, or?
No, I have to consider what is the best way for me to deliver the piece, the sculpt, for the guys that do the engineering part, to make it easy for them. Because I could just sculpt and don't worry about it, but I have to be considerate. So I always try to keep in mind what is going to be the best way for them to just make the piece like physical. Because in digital you can do a lot of crazy things, but you know, I have to be considerate. So yeah, I don't do the engineering like I told you, so I just try to leave it to the guys that do the engineering, that they are awesome. Like they take charge of all these things. It's a complex piece, so yeah. That's why I leave it to the pros. I
think most of your pieces are complex, and most of your pieces are very dynamic. So, you know, then the factory's going to have to go away and then work out how to get your piece to stay in that position for a long time. So yeah, I mean, like some of the other pieces I've seen of yours, especially the Devilman. I mean, to get him to be up in the sky, up in the air like that. I mean, yeah, that's a fine bit of engineering there.
That was impressive. Like when we were trying to figure out the concept of Devilman, we came with this idea of Devilman flying around, like So it was like a big, big risk to take, but I like to take risks. And Figurama is another company that's why I love them so much. They take risks and they try to do something new. So with Devilman was like that. It was a challenge, but in the end it ended up quite well. Like no problem at all.
But that's something where, for example, I mean, even with this or with any piece, you have obviously your own style. You have then like Figurama's style, but you also have to abide to the original art and please the licensors. So how do you make that kind of balance?
It's not that easy. It's complex because I have to play like you just said with the concept, with the license, and with my style. Fortunately, Shanab always tell me like, I picked you because I love your style, so do what you do. Don't mind at all the rest. Just do what you want to do. So that's like giving me freedom to just express myself and put the thing that I want to put in the piece. So that's very fortunate. Yeah.
And I mean, I know we're here with Figurama, but like last year, we actually awarded you the Sculptor of the Year. So yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I think we also awarded you something for, there was like Scorpion, which was the, I think that was like one of the sleeper pieces, because a lot of people, it was made to order, and I think the edition size was 300, and then when it came out, same as Moon Knight, and then when it came out, people were like, I need this. And I think Scorpion's now selling for like $2,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Devilman, $2,500. So your pieces are in high demand, so yeah, it's justified. And you do great work.
That's awesome to know. I didn't know about the Scorpion. Well, that piece with Moon Knight, I did those pieces like 3 years ago. So it was like all of the sudden they came out. People didn't expect those pieces. A lot of people they were waiting for those pieces for so long, but they were like giving up. And this was suddenly like it happened, and it was super great. Like, so it's awesome. I'm glad.
One of the things I was thinking about is, for example, with like Mikasa, she's very small, but there is actually a lot of detail on that little piece. Do you prefer to work with something like this size? Is it harder to work with something this size and get the detail, or this size, or does it make no difference in 3D?
It makes no difference, but if I have to work in a smaller piece, I don't have to put all the details because they are going to get lost. So if you ask me what I prefer, bigger scales. So I can just detail it more and put what I want to do. Like, so yeah, but no, it makes no difference. Digitally, it's the same.
Has this been toned down at all? Has it been toned down? Have they taken anything away, or?
Not really. Not really. That's something that I have to have in mind every time I sculpt. I made a statue. Like I have to think that maybe when they are going to print it, some details are going to get lost. So in the digital aspect, I have to be like do stronger strokes, like more deeper. So in the 3D printing, they won't get lost. That's what I have to keep in mind.
Because that was something like it's very basic, but I didn't consider it at first. Was the fact that when you do your 3D sculpting, you have to add a certain percentage of more extra texture to deal with the paint. And that's something that people don't realize. So they look at the 3D sculpt and they'll say, well, a lot of it was lost now when you've done the paint, but you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's totally true. With clothing, like fabric, many don't they rely in the paint job. I like to put the texture in the fabric and everything. So, but that demands more work. But I think it's totally worth it. I think people appreciate it even more. So that's good. Yeah.
And again, I mean, like with this piece as well. I mean, when you go around the back, I mean, there are like little bits of Easter eggs where you got the house, you got little bits of furniture in there. I mean, that's got to be quite a lot of fun to do that kind of thing as well. It's a bit different from doing, you know, the big characters and then adding, you know.
Yeah, it was quite fun because it's like thinking stories, like who was living in those houses, so what they had in the house, so it was kind of fun. I give you that. I wish I could have added more details or more, like books or something like something very tiny, but no, I think it's awesome like that.
The problem with that is the factory may not be able to produce that because it would just get to because I've seen like there is the bookshelf on the back. I think I can see it there. Yeah, but whoever's house it is, they're not going to be happy. So yeah, but I just wanted to we're finished up there. So I mean, like, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your interview, and I know you're very shy. And you've done really well. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Do the usual: like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.